guys? Yep. Y'all here? Everybody here? Thumbs up? Feeling good? Let's do it. Touch the back of the jersey. Yeah, point right here. Yep, right there. That's where I'm going. And it's up. Toss and tap. It's Air Force. Gotta practice a little bit for later. Left to right as we see it. 31. Hi, Miles. The mic's on, so you're on camera, but not on camera, but you're on voice. I think you're ready for your commentary career. 12 down at the ball. Pushes it up to 17. I'll do a little warm up. 17 for 3. Long shot. No good. Picked up by 20. For the Air Force, they'll move the other way. How do you say your last name, Miles?
Kubicki.
Kubicki? Kubicki. Kubicki. All right. Air Force breaks the scoring drought 2-0 in favor of the nation's armed forces. Both teams lose points for not having their names in the back of the jersey. That's always helpful. Shame on them. I'm ready. Feel good.
Voice sounds warmed up.
Yeah. It'll slowly sound worse and worse as we go. The GCU bench vociferously calling for defense. Not on our court. Hey, you are following that action like a throw.
Love to hear it.
Bit of a fumble. Strom on the floor. Kicks it over to 1. I hope so.
I was looking at this game down here for a minute. I'll tune out here.
think they kicked it. Who knows? Air Force has the ball. Miles, what do we got? Is that a charge? Going the other way?
Looks like they called it a charge.
As Parker was saying yesterday, actually a player control foul.
That is the rulebook language.
Okay. We love to see it. All right, if we're going to do this, we got to put the mic in the middle. Screw it. We're actually trying. Hi, everybody. Hello, future officials. Just kidding. Hold on. NC State with the ball. The slow approach. Who needs to go fast? Not them. They're chilling. Fadeaway jump shot. Maybe not the shot they were hoping for. But it's the shot they got. That's all we've got. 25. That's Parker, I think, number 45. We're going to get his name. Don't have the iPad today. That's Balance. Hurt his hand yesterday. Glad he's okay. Inside to Parker. Got a couple of inches. Spin. Pivots. Goes up. Doesn't get it. Rebound. Can he save it? Sort of, but to the other team. So what's the point, really?
Gotta finish those shots.
It turns out you gotta hit the shots. That's important. Oh, Balance. Great knock away. NC State. Puts the ball down early. But pretty low scoring game, Miles. Plenty of time.
Back at the top, big three. No good.
Side of the rim, no good. Will be back in favor of Air Force. Only 3 points for NC State so far. Not what they were hoping for, you have to feel. From the start of this one.
Both these teams have some very physical games down the stretch. You have to wonder if maybe fatigue is becoming a factor this late in the weekend with their 4th, 5th game.
Absolutely, right? These teams played, I think generally 3 pool games, and then also throughout the bracket so far, so a lot of games. And if you win this one, you're playing again later. So,
yeah, that championship game, these teams will be exhausted. Definitely, who's more conditioned is going to play a big factor who takes home the trophy this weekend.
We saw yesterday Creighton just very tired. They only had 6 people on their team. That's tough. Playing with no bench all weekend. Can't blame them.
Yeah, you have to imagine bench points are going to go up today versus the other 2 days of the weekend.
Absolutely. That's a great point. That looked illegal, but it turns out it wasn't. Somehow kept in bounds. Air Force picks it up. Kicks it over to Balance, leading the team from the front. As always, left wing down the lane, up to the rim.
And there's a charge called on the floor.
We've got a charge. We've probably got new people watching them yesterday. Miles, can you break down what makes a charge compared to a block for us?
Yeah, so if there's a big collision, players going to the floor. In order to be legal on the defense, you got to have 2 feet on the floor facing the defender, and then you can only move backwards or sideways. So right there, what the officials saw, his defender was set, contact made, defender goes to the floor. That's an offensive foul.
Is that what's called a legal guarding position?
Correct.
Is that what we call those?
Legal guarding position.
That's the lingo. I learned from yesterday. Hopefully you learned something too. NC State gets on the board again. So it turns out you can't just bowl people over when they're set.
That'd be correct.
All right, can't do that.
Some of those calls are very tough to make.
Especially in real time, I would imagine. Parker puts it back up, left hand, no good. NC State clears. Number 1, almost the double team. Looks like he's getting bear hugged.
He'll be fouled.
Turns out bear hug's not allowed. Player's very excited about it. Looks like he'll be going to the line, shoot a pair. "35 seconds left in this one. Reasonably sure the clock's not supposed to stop till 30.
You'd be correct on that one.
Well, I could be wrong. Sounds like I'm right. That's all right. Now we're going to have a conversation.
Looks like the officials will talk to the table about that time. I've corrected it. 30 seconds left. No, they're going to put 43 up on the clock.
Making it hard on your poor, humble streamer right here. The clock only goes one direction for us, so.
We have 43 seconds and a stopped clock.
Puzzling. Now the clock starts again. All right, we'll let mysteries be mysteries. NC State hits the free throw.
You know what I think happened here? I think they wanted to stop that clock at 43 so that the officials could have a discussion. And now they're going to stop it here at 30.
At 30. All right, so we got back to this, we got the same result. We'll take it. One more free throw for NC State. Air Force got a box out. I believe that's the technical term. There it is. Straight through.
30 seconds and a half. Is Air Force going to try to hold it here and get the last shot off?
Certainly don't seem like they're in a hurry. I feel like when you're in this sort of last shot situation, you want to get a quality shot. Right? You don't want something rushed.
Absolutely.
15 to go on the clock. Balance from the front. I really hope that's how you pronounce your name. We're going to ask him to make it to the finals. 41. Big screen. Balance off of it. 31. Top of the key. Into the lane. To the rim. Goes up and puts it in with the right hand. Air Force able to find that one. 2 seconds left. NC State, can they get a shot off? It's off, but it's late, and it's not in anyway. And the first quarter comes to a conclusion. 11-7 in favor of the Air Force. Quarter of the game gone by. Air Force looks pretty good, but I will say both these teams look a little bit slower than they did yesterday.
Yes, definitely fatigue playing a factor.
Don't quite have the same energy to just push and push and push and push both directions each time.
Air Force, true to their name, was very above the rim yesterday in their matchup against Virginia State. Lots of dunking, lots of big blocking. They have some very tall players on their team. We haven't seen much of that, but possibly as we get down the stretch of this game and into the championship, if they make it that far, we might see a little more physicality.
See some fun dunks. We always see the officials chatting between quarters. What are you talking about in this sort of meeting? And also, why do we have a fourth official?
Yeah, so to answer your second question first, the fourth official is the alternate official. They're going to spend most of the game sitting at the table and keeping an eye on both of the benches, the coaches, getting an eye on shooters, numbers, making sure that everything is running smoothly. And they're also there to step in case, God forbid, any of the three officials on the floor should suffer an injury and not be able to finish the game. As for what they're talking about in between quarters, it's often just readjustments, talking about maybe players that have a high foul count, might be in foul trouble, talking about different stuff like, hey, this player has been very physical in the post. Let's make sure we keep an eye on him in the second shift.
You want to be on the same page.
Absolutely.
That seems important. Check that out. And with that, quarter number 2 starts. Very short break between the quarters. The horn, just keeps going off for fun. Adding to that ambiance. NC State goes up, gets his own rebound. Swatted away out of bounds. And we'll do it again. The other semifinal is Texas A&M versus GCU on the court below. There's an alternate stream if you want to check that out instead. As NC State misses that, and the winner of these two games will play in the final later at, I want to say, 2:30.
I believe 2:30 would be correct.
That sounds right to me. Air Force, there we go. A little physical in the paint. Spin move, puts it home.
Wow, what a nice move from number 31.
That was very nice. Now playing some defense as well. 13-7. Favor of Air Force. Kicked around. Where do you want to go from here? Shoot it from basically half court. Doesn't go in. Air Force recover. Push the floor. Balance in the lane, kicks it out. 25, right wing. Nylons finds that one. 16-7. NC State down by 9. That was a pretty nice play, Miles. Drive in a little bit, kick it out. Open three.
Very nice.
Couldn't draw it up any better. Continue to push the pace. Trying to blow this game wide open. Now they'll slow down just a moment. 31. We saw that spin move earlier. What else do they have in the tank? Drops it off, gets stripped. Hanging on the rim. No points for doing that. Foul is called on the Air Force. We'll see on whom here in a moment.
Number 6 will go to the line for NC State.
31, I believe that would be, on the foul. He's saying, I didn't do it. You probably did. I think the players always seem to think they didn't do it. Oops, that's not correct. Another foul shot. Gotta hit these. Very important. Every point counts.
Misses that one.
This is a say it, cast or curse. 25-31, cycle it around to Mallinge again. One of two players whose names I remember. 25, open three, top of the key, straight through.
Air Force really is a double threat in this game. Dialing in that three.
When the threes start to fall, good things happen, usually. Jumper, a couple of feet inside, hits it, but that's only worth 2. 19-10 now. Air Force still holding a commanding lead here. Mallinge in the paint, dumps it over, 25 on the jump. No force behind it, but that has some force. And it's 21-10.
What good teamwork.
GCU bench again in the first game. Much more excited than anything happened in our game. Kicks it out to the corner. Doesn't take the shot. 12, long three. Doesn't hit it, but the self-rebound, or the offensive rebound, that looked illegal. Call that one a block.
And this will stay down here with NC State.
Mallinge puts his body on the line. Got nothing to show for it.
Air Force coach is not happy with that decision.
So if you move into the offensive player, you can't do that. And you gotta be set. Okay.
Once you're moving forward, you're breaking that legal guarding position.
Sure.
You're putting yourself at risk of getting that foul called on you.
Gotcha. GCU fired up in the front court. On our game, NC State back to the line. Drains that free throw. Air Force now on the ball, 23-11.
Physical post play from the centers.
Cycle it around.
41 goes to the floor.
Oh,
Goes to the floor again. It'll be NC State ball out of bounds. 41 was looking for a foul there.
says I fell over. Must be their fault. Turns out maybe you just fell over.
I think he might have just tripped.
NC State inbounds. Needs some baskets here. Only 11 points. Going to need to more than double their score just to catch up. Wide open three.
Fouled on the three-point attempt. He'll go to the line for 3 shots.
It started wide open. It ended on the floor. 3 shots. A rarity.
And the other big 45 will replace 41.
They have some tall players. Absolutely. Off the front of the rim. 2 for 3 on those free throws. No real rush here for Air Force, right? There's no shot clock. Although giving the ball away, not ideal. NC State gets... Oh, well played by Balance. No contact. Pushes the other floor.
Foul. I think that was all ball. Good no call by the officials.
It looked pretty good to me. The ball came out, he just stripped it, walked off. Obviously, we're 15 feet in the air, so Who's really to say? Balance aside, crosses over, wide open, 325, 3 in a row! On fire, 26-13, Air Force, making it look easy from behind the line. 17, wow.
NC State hits the 3.
Okay. .31. Apparently he's fine. Foul called. On the rebound, okay.
We'll stay with Air Force.
Everybody takes a small breather. And they say, all right, let's go again. Just going to shoot it. Fortunately, Parker's so tall, just finds the rebound. 25 again, 4 in a row? Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Pretty sure that's his 4th 3 in a row. 29-16.
I think the average height on the floor for Air Force right now must exceed 6'6".
Oh! Back and forth and back and forth.
NC State has the answer for those threes.
Yes, they do, but they need more than an answer, right? They're still down by 10. Air Force run their offense. 31. Top of the key, spin move into the lane, up to the rim and in. The height just so helpful here.
Yes, absolutely. But that was an excellent finish.
NC State drives, gets dispossessed.
Air Force with the steal.
25, pushing the pace, 5 versus 4. 5 in a row? No. Luck eventually had to run dry. And 23 picks it up for NC State. They push back the other direction. Get it into the front court, in the lane, up to the rim. No good, but it ends up off of Air Force, not able to corral that one.
NC State again looking for the foul. Does not get it.
Can't just look for it, Miles. You gotta actually get fouled. At least that's what Aiden told me yesterday.
Wise words.
He said it's not a foul if you don't get fouled. Deep. Last shot situation again here. 12 seconds left in the half. Air Force looking for a shot to increase their lead. Currently up 10 with 7 seconds. In the lane, 31 again to the rim. Lays it in. Doesn't quite go in though. More like lays it out. I think that's too late anyway, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't go in. 31-21 at the half. Air Force leads NC State. We're going to take a short break for about 5 minutes as these teams catch their breath. We'll be back after that. Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to quarter number 3 of the semifinal here at the NIRSA National Basketball Championships, hosted by the University of Wisconsin Madison. Carl Krieger, Miles Kubicki, is that correct?
Correct.
Kubicki, we got it. We're here on the desk, trying it out for this semifinal action. The winner goes to the championship, so you're going to want to not miss this one. Air Force on the ball, up 10. Balance into the paint, kicks it over to Parker. The two players' names I know. We're doing well so far. Can he go for the hook? Gets stuck under the basket, throws it up, gets fouled. He'll shoot a pair. Sounds come crashing down. Shoot one free throw. I feel like if you're gonna foul somebody when they go up, you gotta at least make sure they don't make the basket.
Right.
Gotta commit. That's the idea. Parker will shoot one. I should probably update the score too. Also, the producer, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's fine. There's the free throw. And he hits it. Going play. Yes, indeed. Up by 13. Here comes NC State. Number 12 over to 17. Those numbers look very much the same. 6 going down to single digits. Takes the jumper. Not able to find it. Air Force picks it up. Settling down. Just chilling. Boys, let's just stand here. Just getting into the lane. Another jump shot. Not in that time. Not able to do it. Long three. Also not it. And out of bounds. Who gets the ball, Miles?
That's looking like it's going to Air Force's way. Blast off NC State. NC State really trying to make up for this deficit with some threes. I wonder if they need to just get back to the fundamentals, get into the paint, and get some points.
NC State with the ball. Up the court, number 4. Kicks it over to 6. Went for the 3 last time. Bumps it to 12. 12 says, hey, that's illegal. Just kidding, it's not. I'll play on. Dumped over 22. Hands it over 17. Almost runs into 12. Not paying attention. Dodges the defense. Defense gets there anyway.
Foul called on the three-point shot again against Air Force.
20. Sort of trying to plead his case. I didn't do it. My hands were up. Gives up the argument.
Those are tough fouls to give to the other team, giving them 3 attempts at the line.
Indeed. Still talking to the official. I can't hit him, but I didn't. You ever been convinced by a player? Never won their argument?
No.
No.
A
Aiden?
lot of what the players are doing is just trying to get in your head. You know,
Okay,
make
okay.
you feel bad for them maybe. There's a lot of players that are very good at that.
That's what Aiden said yesterday, too. He said he's never been convinced by a player to change his call. I was like, that's probably good. First free throw, looks like maybe 2 free throws were hit while I was wool gathering. 2 out of 3. We'll call that 67%. It's still passing. We'll take it. Got to hit those, though, if you want to get back in this game. Right, down 11. Air Force and NC State. Dumped in, there's Parker. On the ball, he is so tall. Jump hook, straight through.
Another nice move by Air Force.
Up by 13. Not insurmountable, right? But you got to start chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Only 16 minutes to go. That time goes fast, especially when the clock doesn't stop. That looks illegal.
We did have a women's game in the last hour. It was Wisconsin versus South Carolina. Wisconsin was up by 16 points at one point in the third quarter. South Carolina managed to claw back from that deficit and win the game and advance to the final later this afternoon. So certainly not out of the question that NC State could come back and win this one.
Tough pill to swallow for those Wisconsin fans here.
Yeah, it's very tough. The home loss.
I know, the defending champions, too. They won the last 2 years, is my understanding, so unfortunate for them.
Wisconsin's unified team also lost earlier today.
2 semifinalists, though. We'll take that. Great showing. Champ game should be a lot of fun. You can sort of see the court getting set up in the background of this one for the festivities there.
Number 22 sinks no free throws for NC State.
That's how it starts. Cuts the lead to 11. Air Force now back on the ball. Balance with it. Kicks it out. 25, the three-point superstar. Back out to their leader. Fakes the overhead pass shot. No one's too sure, but he didn't throw it, so it doesn't matter. Parker on the ball. Needs a little bit of help. Just kidding. Still has his dribble. In the lane. Gets stuck. Jump hook again. Seems to be his move. Batted out, but straight to the other team. NC State quickly in transition.
And a good tap out by Air Force, but no one was there to receive that.
It's true. Tapped it out straight to the other team.
And a foul was called on the layup.
Back to the line. More free throws for NC State. You don't want to give too many of those, right?
No, certainly not. It'd be the third team foul against Air Force in this quarter. It's only halfway through. We might be in a bonus situation by the end.
First shot is good. Up to 10. We talked about this a little bit with Aiden yesterday. Still not entirely sure. When you got a guy driving, maybe he's going to shoot, gets fouled. How do you determine whether it's 2 shots or on the floor?
Well, what you want to do is let the play finish before you call the foul. And that's why a lot of times officials will come in with the whistle a little bit after the contact. That can be frustrating for some fans because they feel like it's a reactionary whistle, but really that's a sign of good officiating. You're letting the play finish. You're seeing if that shot is actually going to go up or if it's going to end up as a pass.
Sure. Gotcha. So the foul might have actually been a couple of moments before. And so what looks like a nothing foul was a foul 2 seconds ago, but we let him shoot the ball.
Exactly.
Now we're going to call it. Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
You also want to make sure that the player is not being disadvantaged by the foul. Sometimes you'll see a foul call on the floor, and the player will go in and get the layup anyway. You don't want to take away that opportunity for them if they can fight through the contact.
Sure. Absolutely. Sort of like you let the play finish in soccer before you put the flag up. See what's going to happen. Alex is going the other way. Parker can't believe it. Just get a little bit too handsy, a little bit too much of a shove, and you'll call that off the ball. Assume they get some latitude for sort of jiving and pushing, but you can't be too restrictive.
Exactly, and I'd imagine the officials have already talked to those players about their contact.
Sure.
Off the ball fouls, you get a warning before you call for
Okay. Yeah, just you're communicating with the players throughout the game.
Exactly.
Down there, you're not just silently blowing the whistle throughout. That makes sense. Let them know. 12 at the ball. 17, NC State. Maybe the new plan is just to keep drawing fouls. No, it's not. It's to shoot a 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound, though, and that's picked up. That will stay on this end. Number 1 kicks it over to 6. Interrupted by 25. That might have hit the baseline. I think that's a great call.
It comes back to NC State.
That's right, 25. Dribble on the baseline. Can't do that. Here's the inbound. Quick jumper. No good. Another offensive board. For the smaller team, having a lot of success here. That's a travel. Half the team didn't get the memo. Still a travel.
It's loud in this gym. They might have thought that whistle came from the other court.
Absolutely right. I imagine that's hard to tell when you're on the floor as a player. Hey, is that at me? Did I do it? Did they do that? Nobody knows. Maybe explain this one to me too. How do you call a travel? People are if you're on the floor with the ball, what makes that a travel versus not a travel? You can't.
You mean if you're like laying on the ground?
Yeah, you're on the floor. I mean, sometimes I feel like there's a scrum. People have got the ball. GC is very excited. There's a dog pile on the floor. You're fighting for it, and then you'll get a travel.
Right.
Is that different than when you're standing and it's a travel because you're not really taking steps?
Yeah, if you're on the floor, you're not allowed to roll over or sit up with the ball or try to stand up. All
Okay.
of those constitute a travel.
Okay.
You're also not allowed to move on the floor. But if you gain possession of the ball and you have momentum and that carries you and you kind of slide along the floor, you see that happen sometimes, that's an exception. That's not considered a travel. But otherwise, if you do anything
Gotcha.
besides pass it to a teammate right away, that's going to be a travel.
So if you're laying on the floor, you have to pass it. You can't sit up and shoot.
That's correct.
Okay.
I
Makes
still
sense.
remember back to my middle school days when I stood up with the ball after being on the floor once. My coach was not very happy with me after that one.
Turned out that was not allowed. NC State goes up. Good defense. Hands in the air. Seems like a good way not to foul people.
There's good foul discipline there from Air Force.
I think I know here
Better than on their 3-point fouls that's happened earlier in the game.
Yeah, you don't want those. That seems like a really bad way to go about it. To me, I guess we have a block of some variety.
So maybe that.
It'll be out of bounds for Air Force. Into the backcourt, and once again, Air Force probably with the last shot of the game. Or last shot of the quarter, I should say.
Looking like it.
3 quarters in a row.
What will NC State's deficit be heading into the fourth? Will it be 10 or will it be more?
Oh. Over he goes. I think we're just going to do that one again. Don't think they're in the bonus. Maybe they are. No, they're not. Scoreboard seems, I think, is saying bonus for NC State.
That'd be correct.
All right, but not for Air Force. Is it 5 and then you're in the bonus?
That'd be correct.
Per quarter?
Fifth foul,
Okay.
we'll shoot bonus free.
Okay.
They just fell apart.
All right, we just saw this, but with a little bit more time on the clock. 13 seconds. What kind of a shot will they get? Walks it up with 7. Down to 6. Dodges his man. Spin move in the lane. Up to the rim and gets fouled. 2 seconds to go. Air Force will go to the line to shoot a pair.
It looks like NC State might have the final possession in the half after all. So
Couple of, yeah, 2.6 seconds. Long enough for a pass, a dribble, and a shoot. For sure. This is number 1. One more. Straight through. So they get a possession. 2.6. Shoots it up right away. Almost hit it, so you can't blame him.
That was real close.
But not quite there. All right, one more quarter to go. 10 minutes remaining for NC State to erase the 11-point deficit that would be. 23 of the ball slapped away by 20. A little bit of press. Ooh, goes to the steal, spin move in the lane. 31 has that spin down.
That's just such good offense. And NC State played really good defense there, but it just was not enough. Such a good move.
4, over to 17. Dumped in the lane. Guarded tightly by 20. Hands up, finds the block, maybe off the bat of the backboard, doesn't matter. Out of bounds for NC State here. 20 is just so tall.
Yeah.
Right there.
I mean, that shot went off the bottom of the backboard, forcing NC State to take weird shots because he just has that verticality. He's able to put his hands over where you want to put that ball.
Try to go around the hands. It turns out around the hands is the bottom of the backboard.
That'll be called offensive foul, it looks like. It's going to be Air Force ball. Illegal screening action.
Okay. What makes a screen legal versus illegal?
Setting a screen is a lot more strict than getting a legal guarding position. You have to be facing the defender, and you have to give them the time and distance in order to avoid contact. If you don't give them that time and distance, and it's going to be on you as the offense, the onus for that foul.
For just being in the way, basically. That makes sense. And if you sort of try to go with them, you can't do that either.
Right. Moving screens are also illegal. You have
Okay.
to be totally set.
Call that one charge 2, I believe.
Yes, looks like it. It's an offensive foul. That one going in in favor of NC State.
My understanding is also the restricted area does not mean anything at this level.
That'd be correct,
Is that accurate?
yes.
Okay. No meaning for that whatsoever. 4. Walked with the ball. Offensive turnovers / fouls the last couple of possessions. Nobody's really getting a shot up.
Sure, Air Force does not mind that at all.
Absolutely not, right? A couple minutes off the clock without really doing a whole lot.
Leading by 13 with 7 minutes left. They're going to take their sweet time on these possessions.
Oh.
Another offensive foul is called. Looks like that was on an illegal screen as well.
Gotcha. Again, Air Force probably doesn't even really mind themselves getting called, though, right? You know, time still goes off the clock. Don't have to take a shot, don't have to run. Just kind of hanging out. Down to 7 minutes already, up by 13. They're in a great position. If you have a foul on the floor, how do you decide where the ball's out? Baseline, sideline?
Yeah, so if it's anywhere, you can kind of draw lines from the ends of the free throw lines down to the corners of the court. If it happens in kind of that imaginary triangle, then you're going to be going to the baseline. If it happens outside of that imaginary triangle, then you're going to take it out to the sideline. That can be very impactful if you have a coach who wants to draw plays, whether or not you're going to receive the ball underneath the basket or out on the sideline.
Sure. Air Force inbounds here. Blocked 2 shots here. How do you decide? I feel like sometimes in college you see people roaming the baseline versus stuck in place on the baseline. What makes that happen?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So after a made basket, the inbounder is allowed to run the baseline. And they're also allowed to pass it to a teammate that comes out of bounds on the baseline. That's also true for a timeout after a made basket. Any other time, it's a
Right there.
spot throwing. You have to stand right there.
Gotta stand right there. You got 5 seconds.
Yep, either way, you only have 5 seconds to get that ball out, or it'll be a violation and a turnover.
Gotcha. Second free throw here. First one was missed. Second one missed as well. Tipped. Staying down here. Last touch by NC State. And we have a reversal going NC State's way. Do the different officials communicate on last touch if somebody's got a different angle than each other?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And especially as that lead official down on the baseline, it can be very difficult to see who touched it last.
Sure.
If you're focused on that post play. So the other officials are there to help.
Long 3. Ooh.
Foul against Air Force.
On the
It's gonna stay
rebound.
down here.
Either 25 or 12, I think.
Looks like 25.
Yeah, I think in 25 as well. The exact sideways angle for us.
Tough to see that.
Makes it a little tricky. Still 39-26. Bad news for NC State. Lead has not shrunk in the last couple of minutes.
Air Force was looking for an out of bounds there. They did not get it, but they get the rebound anyway.
So the top of the backboard's out of bounds. Is the support for the basket also out of bounds?
So technically, if it bounces off the top of the backboard, that's not out of bounds.
Okay.
It has to go over the backboard or hit the support stroke.
Gotcha, okay. Another foul is whistled.
And we almost certainly will be in bonus for both teams by the end of this quarter.
Yeah, a lot of whistles. A lot of whistles, and a lot of them on themselves. A lot of offensive fouls.
NC State calls a timeout here. They're going to try to readjust and cut down this lead.
What do you do here? You're down by 13. How do you come back in 4 minutes, Miles?
That's very tough. I would instruct them to play very, very good defense and just move the ball quickly on offense. A lot of teams will just try to jack up threes, use all their energy there, and then let Air Force continue building up that lead. And I think you might see Air Force here start to speed up if this closes up, so difficult job for NC State, but I'm sure the coach has some wise words for them.
Do you want to start pressing? You want to start seeing a full court press situation or continue?
I think they will start pressing pretty soon.
Okay.
And it's kind of last hopes for them in this tournament.
Right,
now.
absolutely.
So not much to conserve the energy for if you're going to lose this game.
Right, I mean, you're, 4 or 5 possessions away from even catching up, and you only got 4 minutes. So you've got to do something. No shot clock, too. You have to get up and press if you want to make them do anything, or they can just run around all day.
Get those 5-second violations. So
Air Force, go ahead.
If Air Force is up there holding the ball, and NC State is in very close, you'll see the official start a count. If that count gets to 5 seconds, that's a turnover.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. How close do you have to be before you start counting?
The rule book says 6 feet. A lot of officials will consider you have to be a little bit closer to that before they actually start the count.
Gotcha. And if you back them off, the count starts over?
That'd be correct.
Is that sort of the like arms across
Yep, that's
signal?
when you'll see both of them
Gotcha.
go out.
Absolutely. All right. It is bonus time now for Air Force. Thinking probably either 1 or 2 more for NC State. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but they get the ball back. 25 up to the rim and lays it in.
That's such a gimme for NC State. You have to get that rebound off the free throw. It's a 4v2 in there.
And there's that kind of desperate 3 I think you were talking about earlier. Maybe not the shot you want in reality here.
You don't want to take that shot. It was an air ball. It was not a good look.
Air Force escapes, and another bucket put in the lead now, 17. Another 3. This one is good.
Keeping the hope alive for NC State.
Lead is still 14. Sort of a trap attempt, doesn't really work. Reaches in, gets fouled. And he'll go to the line.
One on NC State looks a little shocked.
He's stunned.
You're almost at the point of take fouls here.
What is a take foul?
It's towards the end of the game when you're taking those fouls intentionally.
Gotcha, okay.
To get to the line.
The concept, familiar. The word, no. Take fouls, we'll take that, okay. This time he's shooting 2. Is there a single bonus in this also? Did he shoot a 1-and-1 the first shot, or it's straight to 2?
Yeah.
NFHS changed that rule this year, and those are the rules we're using at this tournament, so
Straight to 2.
immediately it's double bonus.
All right. Does that mean there's no 1-and-1s?
That's correct.
Okay.
That leaves men's college basketball is the only level of basketball that still has the 1-and-1.
Really?
FIBA, NBA, women's college, and high school now all going
Straight to
double
2?
bonus.
Huh. Another 3, okay. We're sort of keeping the hope. There's the foul. Can't believe it. Sort of looked like he was trying to do that and then was surprised when it was called.
Yeah, another one of those.
And another timeout will get called. You get 2 timeouts per game?
2 timeouts per game.
Okay. Well, the last time out it was 13. Now it's 12. So they've made progress.
A little bit. Gonna need a couple more than 2 timeouts in order to close that completely.
Yeah. Got to come up with something good here.
I believe GCU is leading in our other game. We will face most likely Air Force unless NC State can really pull something off here.
Yeah.
Our championship game at 2:30.
Minute 56 left on the clock in that game. I think you're right. I think GCU is winning.
Yeah, I gotta double check here. Yeah, Texas A&M is fouling. It's about to be mercy rule in our other game.
Mercy rules 20. Told me that earlier.
That's correct.
If it's 20, and so if they score this one and they go up 20, the clock will run the rest of the game.
That's correct.
Okay. Looking good for GCU. I believe the GCU women's team is also in the final.
That sounds correct.
I think they were winning.
And that game will be at 11:30 a.m.
Absolutely. The first of our champ games. Back on our court. Missed free throw. Second free throw here for NC State. Scratch that, Air Force. Sends it through. 45-32.
2.5 minutes left for NC State to try to close this 13-point lead. I won't do it with that.
Absolutely not going to do it with that.
Here's the press.
Well defended, though. They're so tall, too. You can go over if you need to. Trying to trap him, but he just throws it over to his friend. 31 gets fouled. And he'll go and shoot a pair.
From up here, that pass looked like it was going out of bounds. I forgot how tall this Air Force team is.
It really did. Clock down to 2 minutes where it will stop.
Number 31 is at the line.
Yes, indeed. 31. Shooting a pair. Misses the first half. Keeps it interesting. Rolls the second one in.
Down comes NC State. Last-ditch effort here. GCU has just won on our other court.
There's the buzzer signifying that result. Air Force headed back to the line.
I imagine GCU might start watching this game, scouting out their likely opponent.
Check
for the
them out.
championship game.
Not a bad idea. That game coming your way at 2:30 here in the same place on the NIRSA YouTube channel. 31 back to the line again for some more foul shots. There you go. Puts that one through. One shot.
.31, who's been clutch with the free throws down the stretch here, misses that one.
Yes, he does. NC State. Will we see anything but a three? No.
There's
They
only
are
going to be
desperate
one game,
here.
so I'm not sure there's going to be multiple cameras.
Another
but
bad
at
free
least
goes
one of
up.
them is going to be down on the floor.
And it's going the other way.
Going Air Force way.
Here we go.
90 seconds to go. 15-point lead for Air Force. Kicks over to 20. Drops to 25.
Sorry.
And gets fouled. Back to the line they go.
And we
Clock ticking down in 3-second increments.
playing the foul game here.
Yep. Absolutely are.
Championship t-shirts.
Well, if there's any knowledge GCU will gain from watching the end of this game, it's who they want to foul at the end of the game if they're down.
There you go.
Get their worst free throw shooters out there.
Yeah. In their minds, since they just started watching, 25, great candidate. 0 for 1. 0%.
Let's see if 25 can change their minds
Next
with this
game
second
that they're setting up for there is the women's championship game, and then there'll be the 3 championship games. in a
No.
row.
Unable to do so. 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Will NC State make a basket? Goes for 3. Again, that got deflected, I believe.
Wow.
12 going to get trapped.
Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Air Force.
Officials look at each other for a while. Yep, jump ball. You feel good about that?
Yeah,
Jump ball?
That's,
All right.
that's a good call right there. Shutting that down before it gets ugly. And I don't think there was any illegal
Sure.
contact by either team.
Gotcha. You don't want them wrestling for it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a problem. Air Force, now you got to get it in.
All the way down the court.
That'll do.
With a free layup.
That works as an inbounds. Down by 17 now. I think it's just going to be a little bit too much. They let him go for the layup. Very smart.
A very solid run by NC State at this tournament, advancing to the Final Four.
Yeah,
Played some very
absolutely.
talented teams.
Indeed.
I believe they played Prairie View, A&M, and Wisconsin, possibly yesterday.
Couldn't
Both
tell
very
you.
competitive games.
Back to the foul line goes Air Force Academy. There it goes. 50 for Air Force. 50 to 34. 16-point lead. Make it 17. For the Air Force. NC State back up the floor.
Airballs that one.
Not ideal.
No, they've been very cold with the threes in the last few minutes here.
Not the right time to do it. And I think that might do it. NC State, I think, has given up the ghost.
No defense here, as Air Force will have 50 seconds to dribble it out. Well, this should be a very interesting matchup in the championship game. Air Force, big, above the rim, very physical.
Yes.
GCU, very high energy, very active bench.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a hit. The final coming your way at 2:30. That will wrap this one up. Air Force takes the semifinal match over NC State. Miles Kubicki, Carl Krieger with you. Thanks for joining us on the desk.
Yeah, thank you for
Your
having me.
debut cast. We'll hope to get you back in the future as well. That's going to do it for here. We'll be back for the first women's championship game at... Does anybody know what time the game's at? 11:30?
11:30.
11:30. Thanks, everybody around me.